What's up guys, today I explain you Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 269 preview, Yuta Akotsu and Gojo's fate. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe this channel, because we are close to hit the 1200 followers and now have fun with the video. Monkey D. Luffy is now one of the Yonko, after having defeated Kaido in the Wano Country arc of One Piece. In Egghead, Luffy managed to improve his control over his awakening, along with much else, even further, and fans know that he is continually growing stronger even now. Even in the beginning parts of Elbaf, fans saw great strides being made by Luffy, and, if this implies anything, it is that Luffy is still continuously growing in terms of strength and that he has not hit his ceiling yet. More than that, fans know that he has an even higher level to reach. AMD after what happened on Egghead. Elbaf needs to be a stepping stone for him. Luffy needs to grow even stronger in the future of One Piece, and fans cannot wait to see what level he will reach once he emerges out of Elbaf. Luffy is certainly one of the strongest characters in One Piece right now. His being one of the Yonko emphasizes that. Even at the beginning of the Elbaf arc, Oda highlighted on many occasions that Luffy is now seen as equal to Red Hair. Of course, this does not mean that Luffy is equal to Shanks in terms of strength, which he might well be, but more that Luffy and Shanks now stand on the same pedestal and carry the same title of Yonko. Right now, Luffy is a tremendously powerful individual. Not only has he mastered all three types of haki, but he knows all three advanced versions of this power and can tap into them effortlessly. While Luffy's control over Supreme King Haki and Fusion wasn't as strong at the beginning parts of his battle against Kaido, he has improved upon it tremendously since. Right now, Luffy can utilize Haki effortlessly and he doesn't even suffer from as many drawbacks as before. When it comes to Devil Fruit usage, fans know that Luffy is a master of his powers. He has tapped into Gear 5 and managed to use it multiple times in the same arc, as seen in Egghead. In Elbaf, Luffy has utilized Gear 5 for even trivial acts, such as fighting the pet of Road, Hillmengander. This just goes to show how confident and comfortable Luffy is while utilizing these powers, and it is certainly an improvement, although one that might not be apparent to the fans upon first look. On top of that, Luffy has now shown the capability of using powers such as Gear for in limited parts of his body, such as just his arm. This is a massive step forward for him, and just goes to show that he is now on an entirely different level compared to before. Luffy is still growing and will continue to grow throughout the Elbaf arc, and fans know that he has a very high level to reach if he truly is to defeat the likes of the Elders and, more specifically, Aimu. The Egghead Island arc gave Luffy the blueprint of where he needed to improve and what he needed to do in order to be able to fight back against those of the world government. Fans already know that Luffy's clash against the world government is inevitable, which means that he will have to strengthen himself even further when he goes to fight against them. Luffy is very strong right now, but not strong enough to beat the likes of the Elders and Aimu. As was seen in the Egghead Island arc, Luffy can fight against the Elders and even overwhelm them. However, what he cannot do is breach their immortality, which means in a long battle, he will lose against them. Even though Luffy can overwhelm them with strength, in the end, they can simply keep regenerating and not lose any stamina. Luffy, on the other hand, will lose Gear 5 eventually, which is his biggest weakness, as he will eventually go on to fall, meaning that characters such as the Elders will be declared victorious. If the Elders are so strong, fans know that there's absolutely no way that Luffy can defeat Aimu right now, who is already believed to be immortal by many, such as Ivankov. As such, Luffy needs to strengthen greatly if he is to beat the Elders, and Oda has already provided the answer to the fans as to where he needs to improve. In Egghead, the Iron Gianter ended up saving Luffy by unleashing Joy Boy's Haki. Using his strongest Haki, the transformations of the Elders were nullified, and at the same time, this summoning was cancelled as well. The Elders felt the actual damage, and even Aimu was in pain upon feeling Joy Boy's Haki. Fans know that the answer to defeating the Elders and Aimu lies in Supreme King Haki, specifically Haki of the highest order. Right now, Luffy does not have access to Haki this strong. This means that only characters such as Shanks are capable of defeating the likes of the Elders right now, and that Luffy will have to hit this higher tier in Elbaf. This is precisely where Shanks comes in. Whenever Luffy fights someone, he certainly takes a few tricks from their deck and adds them to his own. Luffy has done this in the fight against Katakuri and even Kaido, so Shanks should not be an exception. Luffy and Shanks are inevitably going to fight, and the best place for them to fight is Elbaf. If they do end up fighting here, Luffy will most certainly learn from Shanks how to utilize Haki of the highest order and then channel it himself. This essentially means that Luffy's Supreme King Haki, along with other forms of Haki, can be worked upon even further in Elbaf. Even though he's a Yonko, there are still things that Luffy does not know and will have to learn if he is to defeat the likes of the world government's strongest fighters. That is precisely why Luffy's battle against Shanks is so important and why he needs to grow further here. Once Luffy vs. Shanks concludes and he emerges from Elbaf, he will be stronger than ever before. In fact, it can be said that Luffy will be far stronger than the likes of Kaido and even above the level of an average Yonko. He will be a master of his Devil Fruit Awakening, but more than that, he will utilize Haki on a similar level to Joy Boy. This would essentially be the final step for Luffy to be the Pirate King, and signal to the fans that now, he is ready for the final war in One Piece, which should be just around the corner. Using these powers, Luffy should be able to counter the threat of the Five Elders and, more than that, beat characters such as Aimu. Even Blackbeard, who would be able to nullify Luffy's Gear 5, should be defeatable using this new level of Supreme King Haki that Luffy could learn from Shanks and Elbaf.